Why is learning verb conjugation essential for language learners? Imagine trying to tell a story or ask a question without changing the form of the main action word. It would be confusing and hard to understand. That's where verb conjugation comes in. It is the process of changing a verb to match who is doing the action, when it happens, and how it happens. This might sound simple, but it is the key to clear communication in any language. When you learn how to conjugate verbs correctly, you can say exactly what you mean. For example, in English, you say, I walk but she walks. The ending changes to show who is doing the walking. If you forget to add the S, your sentence might sound strange or confusing. Verbs are the most complex part of speech because they carry a lot of information at once. They tell you if something is happening now, happened before, or will happen later. They also tell you who is involved and whether the action is happening actively or being done to someone else. In languages like Spanish or French, verbs can have hundreds of different forms because they change for tense, person, number, mood, and voice. This makes mastering conjugation essential for speaking and writing correctly. If you don't conjugate verbs properly, your message can be misunderstood. Saying, I go, when you mean, I went, can change the entire meaning of your sentence. Proper conjugation helps you be clear and precise. From a pronunciation point of view, conjugation also affects how words sound. Regular verbs follow predictable patterns, like adding ed for past tense in English. But irregular verbs do not follow these rules. For example, go becomes went in the past tense, and the pronunciation changes completely. Dictionaries list these irregular forms separately because they sound different and need to be learned specifically. Recognizing these changes helps you speak more naturally and understand others better. Learning how to conjugate verbs also makes your brain work smarter. When you practice regularly, these forms become automatic. This means you don't have to think hard every time you want to say something. Instead, your brain retrieves the correct form quickly, freeing up space to focus on what you want to say next. This automaticity makes speaking and writing smoother and more confident. It also helps you remember new vocabulary, because many verbs are learned through their conjugated forms. For people learning a new language, especially if they find grammar tricky, studying verb conjugation is very important. Seeing verbs in tables or charts helps organize the different forms clearly. Repeating conjugations aloud or in writing helps your brain memorize them better. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to produce correct verb forms without thinking about it. This consistency builds your confidence and makes your speech sound more natural. In the end, mastering verb conjugation is like building a strong foundation for your language skills. It allows you to express time, action, and who is involved with accuracy. It reduces the mental effort needed to speak or write, so you can focus on sharing your ideas. It also helps you expand your vocabulary because many verbs are learned through their conjugated forms. Without good conjugation skills, your language can sound incomplete or confusing. But with practice, you will find it easier to communicate clearly and confidently in any language.